The Rotary International has been very active in establishing the peace and conflict resolution around the world. Peace and conflict resolution is not only between the nations in the world, but it is also to be practiced in everyday life. Well, we are having the Rotary Peace and Conflict Resolution at Furman University with the speakers which are world known.
The world is in grave danger and need urgently of some new way of thinking and new solutions. Constantly we are experiencing that there is more divisions within our communities and our societies. While national boundaries are not the major issue many times, it's within our own communities that we are creating new boundaries. So these kind of efforts help to integrate. And it's important that we constantly bring events, bring opportunities for communities to get to know each other, to come together, to build some understanding and build some trust. And also I think it forces them to get more knowledgeable. Because a lot of fear comes from ignorance. And there's an old Buddhist saying on this, I have no fear, so I'm free. So get rid of the fear by being educated, and you take care of the ignorance.
This is an issue for everyone who claims the value of humanity and who claims the value of our shared heritage. Please God, if not forever, then at least for now. And we say that we live in our own world in which all of our sameness and all of our commitments transcend any minor differences that sometimes pull us apart. This is not about being different. This is about being one and about being American.
It is possible for religion to take a stand beyond personal agendas and begin to take a look at the whole community, not the sole property of one country, one nation, one sect, one group. But all of us are responsible for the wholeness of the world that we live in.
Every one of us makes a difference every day of our lives. And individual action, collectively, is what's going to change the world.
And this is a profound statement from him. He says to put an end to outward war, you must begin to put an end to war within yourself. They will be stopped only when you realize the danger, when you realize your responsibility, when you do not leave it to somebody else. If you realize the suffering, if you see the urgency of immediate action and do not postpone, then you will transform yourself. Peace will come only when you yourself are peaceful, when you yourself are at peace with your neighbor. How true it is. That's a beautiful statement.
Well, this is a special occasion, and it's so timely, not only because of current world situations and local issues, but because our relationship with this university goes back to the very beginning of Rotary. Students today are concerned about meaning in a world that's fractious. They are concerned and searching for a way to get more engaged in community and in solving problems beyond the classroom.
The Rotary Club 100th anniversary, and that they commemorated this with a discussion about peace and conflict resolution, the role that religion can play in that.
It was my pleasure to be on the panel at the 100 years of Rotary Club's event at Furman University. I was so honored to speak about the peace and conflict resolution, especially in this century, in this era. It is very essential and important to create such an atmosphere, to bring people together, to brainstorm, and to seek the solutions to our conflict locally and globally.
This whole issue of harmony among peoples of different faiths, traditions, is all the more pressing these days. And growing up in South Carolina, where most people, the background is evangelical Christian, that's still the predominant view, but it's become a much more diverse place, especially in the urban areas like Greenville, with hundreds of families coming from traditions that are not Christian, they're not evangelical Christian, but Roman Catholic Christians, and then Hindus and Muslims and Buddhists and Jains. And it's all the more important to have discussions about beliefs and practices and what we can do to promote mutual understanding, because there's still a lot of lack of knowledge about people who have different traditions, faith traditions and practices.
The core values of all religions, they emphasize peace, friendliness, getting along with each other, charity, helping each other. All these are core values in every religion, whether it is Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity, Judaism. All religions have emphasized the good values, the positive values. The question is, when we bring up our children and educate them, we teach them rituals, we teach them the dogma, but what we need to teach is the real values, the positive values. And as the child and the human being matures, we in a way grow out of dogma, we grow out of the rigidity of rituals, and we become a good human being. To become good, to feel good and to do good is the most important thing.
The Rotary Peace and Conflict Resolution Seminar is based on a need we are facing every day, almost every minute in society. Young children are dying in wars across the world, and even in our own community, an officer is shot and a young man kills himself afterwards. There is violence in our society. There is conflict. There are conflicts in families. It's costing us precious lives and costing a lot of money. And we all need to learn how to better handle conflict and look for resolutions that are peaceful and that will lead to a good end.
I came primarily to see the Applied Theater Center and their presentation, and I think that's really interesting and very important, how it engages the audiences in different scenarios and understanding that how we project our own thoughts and ideas on a particular scene, well, that may not always work because situations are different, and so it helps us to analyze our own reactions and responses to scenes and events. So this is really an invaluable conference, so I hope it happens every year.
I think the very fact that we have conflict in this world, in our neighborhoods, in this town, that we have to find a way collectively to come up with a way to resolve issues, whether they be small issues or large issues or violence. We have to be able to personally deal with it. And I think that's very important, and that's what we've just started here. I think if we can do this seminar every year, it's a beginning of really something special.
person. Gandhi was one person. Martin Luther King was one person. Mandela is one person. Pope Francis is one person. How many more examples? So
Right.
don't hesitate. Feel confident and go do whatever you can. And nobody's going to judge you by what you do. But within yourself, it'll start building your character. Then that will become part of your DNA.